process starts the movement you meet the student as you assess how he or she moves and maneuvers around the meeting area. The first step is to learn about the student's CAP profile. What are the cognitive, affective, and physical factors that influence the student's skiing performance and ability to meet his or her goals? Next comes the phase of assessment and teaching, in which you observe, evaluate, and prescribe. Observation. Observe the student and consider the context of his or her movements. How a skier moves provides a clue to how the skis will perform on the snow. Watch the skier perform a special task you have assigned or the student's normal way of skiing. Take the appropriate amount of time to observe his or her skiing in the context of the lesson. Make note of how the skis perform in the snow and turn shape, and what body movements are used in various phases of the turn. You can use different vantage points, as well as measure of ski performance and body performance to clarify your observation. Noting the duration, intensity, rate, timing, and direction of movements in multiple turns benefits your overall movement analysis. Evaluation. Once you know your student's goals, you can compare your observations to what you envision optimal performance to be. You need to determine where the movement originates to discern between a cause and its effect. This will help you determine the movements or actions to prioritize when creating an appropriate lesson plan. Once you know your student's goals, you can compare your observations to what you envision optimal performance to be. You need to determine whether the movement originates to discern between the cause and its effect. This will help you determine the movements originates to discern between its cause and effect. This will help you determine the movements or actions to prioritize when creating the appropriate lesson plan. Typically, body movement or position is the cause of ski performance, and ski performance is the effect. Cause and effect can also relate to phases of a turn. An action in one phase can affect what happens in another phase. Prescription. This is where the coaching comes in. You have gained an understanding of the student's cognitive, affective, and physical makeup and have identified ski and body performance. You've made your students aware of what they are doing and what effect it is having. Now you can coach them to understand what they need to do to become more effective and efficient with their skiing. Using the student's goals as the basis of your lesson plan, the information you collect through observation and evaluation guide the technical approach you choose. To improve performance, explore skiing with a designated focus or perform drills and exercise lines. Teaching freestyle. Today's ski resorts offer a wide range of terrain options for guests. In one area they may require specialized teaching strategies is the terrain park. Before skiers can hit or use the park features, jumps, fun boxes, rails, half pipes, they need to have measured a whole range of introductory freestyle skills such as flatland spins, whirlybirds, switch skiing, pops, and small airs off knolls and rollers. Applying these skills in the park is fun and a great confidence booster to expand a skier's bag of tricks. Freestyle guidelines. Park smart. S. Start small. Work your way up. Build your skills. M. Make a plan. Every feature, every time. A. Always look before you drop. R. Respect the features and other users. T. Take it easy. Know your limits. Land on your feet. Freestyle guidelines. Terrain parks are part of the snow sports environment and the instructor's profession. Instructors have a tremendous opportunity to use parks to increase participation and the enjoyment of skiing and riding. You will find freestyle teaching suggestions throughout this handbook, which can be used to build complementary skills and help students engage and excited about learning to ski. Each resort has its own policies specific to teaching in terrain parks. They are meant to help guide your decisions as you seek to meet and exceed guest expectations while creating a relatively safe experience for students. Please do not bring any student into the park or pipe until you are familiar with the particular resort ski and snowboard school policies. In addition, learn the Park Smart Guidelines developed by the National Ski Areas Association and support by other industry groups, including the PSIA and ASI, to promote appropriate use of terrain parks. Designated freestyle terrain often has park smart signage, figure 4. Select features at the appropriate level for your students. Such decisions are no different than the daily choices you typically make when selecting terrain. They should be based on the skill level of your least skilled student. Parks with small features are considered appropriate for those starting to learn freestyle. As skill increases, medium features may be more appropriate. These are the areas where you can teach and help build skills. Large features are for use by those who exhibit an advanced expert level of skill in their skiing, riding, and freestyle abilities. When helping students develop half-pipe skills, favor beginner intermediate pipes if unavailable at your resort. Find terrain that acts as a transitional feature, which simulates the feeling of riding up and down half-pipe walls. When you bring students into the park or pipe, think of the emphasize responsibility, etiquette, and fun. Know your school's policies and procedures and your resort-specific park and pipe responsibility etiquette guidelines. Emphasize responsible choices at all times. Use only features that your students can comfortably handle. Be aware and teach terrain park etiquette. Provide guidelines for everything from starting points, stopping points, traffic patterns, and approach speed to dropping in, spotting the landing, and clearing the landing areas quickly. Terrain parks may have skiers and riders in close proximity. Everyone needs to be courteous and aware of his or her surroundings. When possible, time your lesson for when the park is not crowded. Teach students to make a slow speed inspection run before hitting any features. Terrain features change with weather and use. Have students avoid traversing landings, approach runs, or takeoff areas. Tell students to avoid stopping on or near feature takeoff landing areas. If stopping is necessary, they should find an out-of-the-way area that is clearly visible to other users to perform. Guide students to more challenging maneuvers only as skills warrant. Mitigate peer pressure to perform beyond one's abilities and be alert for signs of fatigue. Helmets, of course, are recommended. Visual cues to establish park readiness. As you establish park readiness in your students, look for cues that help indicate the optimal time to venture into the terrain park. Not every student will have the same skill set, so be prepared to focus on different skills with different students. However, good freestyle progress is built on a foundation of the following abilities. The student can comfortably straight run forward and switch. Jump up and down in one place and remain balanced. Make foot-to-foot movements such as gentle skating on skis. Make fore, aft, and lateral adjustments when balanced over the feet. Align the body perpendicular to the slope relative to the angle of the slope, upward slope, downward slope, side hill slope, etc. Flex and extend the body through a full range of motion. Perform a surface spin while keeping the center of mass over the feet. Does not catch an edge. Create and maintain a carved track in the snow. Control speed through turn shape, brushing, scrubbing off speed, and edging. Control basic rotary movements and maintain alignment without turning or rotary force. Glide with enough speed to roll over small bumps and knolls. In addition to these cues, consider whether the students are comfortable with speed comparable to that needed to perform well in the terrain park. Confident in their abilities to be successful attempting terrain park skiing. Able to successfully navigate through bumps or trees before entering the park. This reflects upon their reaction time, ability to avoid obstacles, and flexion and extension movements. Able to perform basic skidding, switch turns down all blue runs. Knowledge. Movement analysis for freestyle. PSIA AASI developed a model that helps instructors analyze movements and organize elements of a freestyle lesson, breaking it down into 4 phases: approach, takeoff, maneuver, and landing. See figures 5 through 8. The speed, pop, and spin required for the intended maneuver also comes into play, as adopted by the Association, Rocky Mountain Division. Another way to think of it, these latter elements, is trajectory, speed, and rotation. Using these models will help you do movement analysis and organize your lesson plan. The TSR model examines elements within each phase of the ATML model. For instance, during approach to a jump, the A in ATML is the primary focus will be on speed, the S in the TSR with trajectory, and the rotation as a minor force, but still necessary. Popping too early or pre-spinning might be the diagnosed problem of the jump attempt. Then at the takeoff, the T in the ATML, trajectory and rotation T and R in the TSR become the primary focus of the skier, sets him or herself up for the controlled maneuver. Remember, even in straight air tricks, rotation is still a concern. Being able not to spin is a necessary skill in all freestyle maneuvers. These phases exist in all disciplines: rails, jumps, and pipe.